The mind creates the storm before life does. This may sound surprising at first, but if we look closely at our daily experiences, we can see how true it is. Many of the struggles we face are not caused by reality itself, but by the way we interpret reality. A situation happens, and before we even understand what is really taking place, our minds begin creating stories, assumptions, fears, and worst case scenarios. These mental reactions often become more painful than the actual problem. Imagine receiving an unexpected message from your boss asking to meet you. Instantly, the mind may start racing. You might assume that you have done something wrong, that your job is at risk, or that bad news is coming. Hours of stress and anxiety can be created from a situation that has not even happened yet. Later, you discover that the meeting was simply about a new opportunity or a routine discussion. The storm existed only in your mind. This pattern appears in many areas of life. We worry about conversations that have not happened, problems that may never occur, and outcomes that are completely outside our control. We replay past mistakes and imagine future failures. In doing so, we create emotional suffering long before life presents any real challenge. The mind becomes a factory of unnecessary stress. The danger is that once the mind creates a storm, it becomes difficult to think clearly. Fear clouds judgment, anxiety weakens confidence, overthinking steals energy. Instead of focusing on solutions, we become trapped in endless cycles of worry. We react emotionally rather than responding wisely. As a result, small issues can feel overwhelming and ordinary challenges can seem impossible. The key is to recognize that not every thought deserves our attention. Thoughts are not always facts. Just because the mind predicts something negative does not mean it will happen. Learning to observe thoughts without immediately believing them is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. When we step back and examine our thoughts calmly, we often realize that many of our fears are exaggerated or completely unfounded. A calm mind understands the difference between reality and imagination. It focuses on what is happening now rather than what might happen tomorrow. When we stop allowing our thoughts to control us, we gain the ability to face life with greater clarity, confidence, and peace. The moment we learn to manage the storms within, the storms outside lose much of their power. Calmness is a skill, not a personality trait. Many people believe that calm individuals are simply born that way, as if peace of mind is a gift given to a fortunate few. They look at someone who remains composed under pressure and assume that person naturally possesses a special temperament. However, the truth is far different. Calmness is not something people are born with. It is something they develop through practice, self-awareness, and discipline. Think about any valuable skill in life. No one is born knowing how to drive a car, play an instrument, or speak a new language. These abilities are learned through repetition and effort. The same principle applies to calmness. The ability to stay steady during difficult moments comes from training the mind to respond differently to stress, challenges, and uncertainty. Life constantly presents situations that test our emotions. We face criticism, setbacks, disappointments, delays, and unexpected problems. Our natural instinct is often to react immediately. We become angry, frustrated, anxious, or overwhelmed. But calm people are not free from these emotions. They feel the same emotions as everyone else. The difference is that they have learned how to manage them. Instead of allowing emotions to take control, they pause, think, and choose their response carefully. This skill is developed through small daily habits. It grows when we practice patience in frustrating situations. It strengthens when we learn to listen before speaking. It improves when we stop reacting to every negative thought that enters our minds. Every moment of self-control becomes a training session for the mind. Over time, these small actions create a powerful habit of calmness. One reason many people struggle to remain calm is because they expect immediate results. They want instant emotional control without consistent practice. But just as physical strength requires regular exercise, mental strength requires regular training. The more we practice staying calm during minor challenges, the better prepared we become for major ones. Calmness does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending problems do not exist. It means maintaining clarity even when emotions are present. It means responding wisely rather than reacting impulsively. A calm person understands that every situation does not deserve an emotional reaction, and that peace of mind is often preserved through thoughtful restraint. The encouraging truth is that anyone can develop this skill. Regardless of personality, background, or circumstances, every person has the ability to train their mind. The more we practice calmness, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, what once required effort becomes a way of life. Calmness is not a personality trait reserved for a select few. It is a skill available to everyone willing to cultivate it. One of the most important lessons in life is understanding that we cannot control every situation, but we can always control how we react to it. Many people spend a great deal of their time and energy trying to manage things that are beyond their influence. They want people to behave a certain way, circumstances to unfold according to their plans, and life to move exactly as they expect. When reality does not match their expectations, frustration, anger, and disappointment quickly take over. The truth is that life is unpredictable. Unexpected challenges appear without warning. Plans change. Opportunities are lost. People make mistakes. Sometimes things happen that seem unfair or completely outside our control. If our happiness depends on controlling every situation, we will spend much of our lives feeling stressed and powerless. However, when we shift our focus from controlling circumstances to controlling our reactions, we gain a sense of strength that no external event can take away. Consider a simple example. Imagine being stuck in heavy traffic while rushing to an important appointment. The traffic is beyond your control. Becoming angry will not make the cars move faster. Complaining will not clear the road. The situation remains the same. The only thing you truly control is your response. You can choose frustration and anxiety, or you can remain calm, accept the reality of the moment, and focus on what you can do next. This principle applies to every area of life. Someone may criticize you unfairly. You cannot control their words, but you can control whether you allow those words to ruin your peace of mind. A setback may delay your progress. You cannot change what has happened. But you can choose whether to give up or continue moving forward. Every challenge presents a choice between reaction and response. The strongest people are not those who never encounter difficulties. They are the ones who refuse to let difficulties control their emotions. They understand that reacting impulsively often creates more problems than the original situation. A moment of anger can damage relationships. A moment of panic can lead to poor decisions. A moment of frustration can cause unnecessary regret. Learning to control your reactions requires practice. It begins with pausing before responding, taking a breath, and creating space between an event and your reaction. In that brief pause, you regain control. Instead of being driven by emotion, you become guided by wisdom. Over time, this habit strengthens your ability to remain composed under pressure. When you stop trying to control everything around you and start mastering what happens within you, life becomes much more peaceful. Situations may still be difficult, but they no longer have the power to disturb your inner balance. Real freedom begins when you realize that your greatest power is not controlling every situation. It's controlling your reaction to every situation. Silence and awareness are two of the most powerful tools for developing inner strength, yet they are often overlooked in a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and endless demands for our attention. Many people believe that strength is demonstrated through loud actions, quick responses, or the ability to dominate every situation. However, true inner strength is often built in quiet moments when we learn to observe, reflect, and understand ourselves more deeply. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is a state of mental stillness that allows us to step away from the chaos around us and reconnect with our thoughts. In silence, we gain the opportunity to listen to ourselves without outside influences. We begin to notice the patterns of our thinking, the emotions we often ignore, and the habits that shape our decisions. Without moments of silence, the mind becomes crowded with constant stimulation, making it difficult to think clearly or act wisely. Awareness works hand in hand with silence. Awareness is the ability to observe what is happening within and around us without immediately reacting. It allows us to recognize our emotions before they control our actions. Instead of being swept away by anger, fear, or frustration, we become conscious of these feelings and choose how to respond. This simple ability creates a tremendous source of strength because it gives us control over ourselves rather than allowing circumstances to control us. Many conflicts in life are made worse by impulsive reactions. People often speak without thinking, act without understanding, and make decisions based on temporary emotions. A lack of awareness causes them to become prisoners of their feelings. However, when we practice silence and awareness, we create a space between an event and our response. In that space, wisdom has the opportunity to guide us. We become less reactive and more thoughtful, less emotional, and more balanced. Silence also teaches patience. It reminds us that not every situation requires an immediate response. Sometimes the strongest action is to remain quiet, observe carefully, and wait for clarity before speaking or acting. This patience prevents unnecessary mistakes and helps us maintain peace even during challenging circumstances. Awareness helps us recognize what truly deserves our energy. Instead of becoming distracted by every criticism, inconvenience, or negative thought, we learn to focus on what matters most. We stop wasting emotional energy on things beyond our control and invest it in personal growth, meaningful goals, and positive actions. Over time, silence and awareness transform the way we experience life. They strengthen our ability to remain calm under pressure, think clearly during uncertainty, and act with purpose rather than impulse. The person who cultivates these qualities develops a quiet confidence that does not depend on external validation or favorable circumstances. Their strength comes from within. In a noisy and reactive world, silence and awareness become the foundation of lasting inner strength, allowing us to navigate life with wisdom, resilience, and peace. A peaceful mind makes better decisions because clarity and wisdom thrive in calmness, while confusion and mistakes often grow in the presence of stress and emotional turmoil. Every day, we are faced with choices that shape our lives. Some decisions are small and routine, while others have the power to influence our future, our relationships, and our success. The quality of these decisions often depends not on our intelligence alone, but on the state of our mind when we make them. When the mind is overwhelmed by fear, anger, anxiety, or frustration, it becomes difficult to see situations clearly. Emotions begin to cloud judgment, causing us to focus on immediate feelings rather than long-term consequences. In moments of intense stress, people often say things they later regret, make impulsive choices, or react in ways that create even greater problems. The decision itself may seem right in the moment, but once emotions settle, the flaws in that decision become obvious. A peaceful mind works differently. It creates space for thoughtful consideration and balanced judgment. Instead of reacting impulsively, a calm person takes time to understand the situation, examine different possibilities, and consider the consequences of each choice. This ability to pause and think clearly often leads to better outcomes because decisions are guided by reason rather than emotion. Consider a person facing criticism at work. If they react immediately with anger or defensiveness, they may damage relationships and worsen the situation. However, if they remain calm, listen carefully, and respond thoughtfully, they can turn criticism into an opportunity for growth. The situation remains the same, but the quality of the decision changes because the mind remains peaceful. A peaceful mind also improves our ability to solve problems. Challenges and obstacles are a natural part of life, but panic rarely provides solutions. When we become overwhelmed, our focus narrows and we often overlook opportunities that are right in front of us. Calmness allows us to see the bigger picture, identify practical solutions, and make decisions based on facts rather than fear. Another benefit of a peaceful mind is the ability to resist unnecessary pressure. Many people make poor decisions because they feel rushed by circumstances or influenced by the opinions of others. A calm and centered mind is less likely to be controlled by external pressure. It remains focused on values, priorities, and long-term goals rather than temporary emotions or distractions. Developing a peaceful mind does not mean avoiding challenges or living without emotions. It means learning how to remain balanced even when life becomes difficult. Through patience, self-awareness, and emotional discipline, we create the mental environment where good decisions can flourish. In the end, success is often determined by the quality of our decisions, and the quality of our decisions is greatly influenced by the condition of our mind. When the mind is peaceful, thoughts become clearer, judgment becomes stronger, and choices become wiser. A peaceful mind is not only a source of inner calm, it is one of the greatest tools for making decisions that lead to a better life. True power is staying calm under pressure. Many people associate power with physical strength, authority, wealth, or the ability to influence others. While these things may create the appearance of power, real strength is revealed during moments of difficulty, uncertainty, and intense pressure. It is easy to remain calm when everything is going well. The true test of character comes when circumstances become challenging and emotions are pushed to their limits. Pressure is a part of life that everyone experiences. Deadlines, setbacks, criticism, failures, conflicts, and unexpected problems can create stress and emotional tension. In these moments, many people lose control. They react impulsively, make poor decisions, or allow fear and frustration to dominate their thinking. Yet those who possess true inner power respond differently. They remain steady, composed, and focused, even when the situation around them is chaotic. Remaining calm under pressure does not mean that a person feels no fear or stress. It means they refuse to let those emotions control their actions. They acknowledge their feelings, but do not become slaves to them. Instead of reacting emotionally, they take a moment to think clearly, assess the situation, and choose the best course of action. This ability separates strong individuals from those who are easily overwhelmed by circumstances. History and everyday life both provide examples of this principle. Leaders who guide others through crises, athletes who perform under intense competition, and ordinary people who overcome personal challenges often share one common quality. They remain calm when others panic. Their success is not simply the result of talent or luck. It comes from the ability to maintain clarity and self-control when pressure is at its highest. When a person stays calm under pressure, they gain several advantages. Their thinking becomes clearer, allowing them to make better decisions. Their emotions remain balanced, preventing unnecessary conflicts and mistakes. They are able to see opportunities where others see only obstacles. Most importantly, they inspire confidence in those around them because calmness is contagious. People naturally trust and respect those who remain composed during difficult times. Pressure often reveals what is happening inside us. If the mind is undisciplined, pressure exposes fear, doubt, and emotional instability. But if the mind has been trained through patience, self-awareness, and emotional control, pressure reveals confidence, resilience, and strength. This is why personal growth is not measured by how we act during easy times, but by how we respond during difficult ones. The good news is that calmness under pressure can be developed. Every challenge presents an opportunity to practice self-control. Every stressful situation becomes a chance to strengthen the mind. With consistent effort, what once felt overwhelming becomes manageable, and what once caused panic becomes an opportunity to demonstrate inner strength. In the end, true power is not the ability to control other people or dominate every situation. True power is the ability to control yourself when life becomes difficult. A calm mind in a moment of pressure is one of the greatest forms of strength a person can possess. When you learn to remain calm while others are losing control, you discover a power that no circumstance can take away.